Hi, I'm Stephen Cuomo, founder and executive producer of Santa Fe Fashion Week. I produce fashion shows, I sell clothing on eBay, I produce fashion vlogs, and I want to do for fashion what Anthony Bourdain did for food. We're heading over to the Doghouse, which you've probably seen plenty of times for our Better Call Saul fans. And I thought it was time to introduce Lucas to the world. Lucas has been an integral part of quite a few of our last vlogs that we've done. Both behind the camera and as well as editing.
I shoot and edit.
And you've probably seen him on peeking his head in and out of some of the different vlogs you've done. And right now you're actually working on a Western?
I am. I'm working on a Western up at the Ford Ranch in Galisteo. I've been...
Tom Ford, that is.
Tom Ford, fashion designer, working on your ranch. I have been painting out there off and on with the Ortega paint crew, for about 14 years. So this is the 6th or 7th time we've redone this set. It's freaking awesome to be a part of that. New Mexico film history.
New Mexico film history. We're making history here. And so recently we were watching the Super Bowl, and during the performance of...
I believe it was J.Lo and Shakira.
Shakira, yes.
Is that right?
You're exactly right.
That's it.
And so there was some controversy about maybe if it was too sexy and, you know, kids watching the show during halftime. So I reached out to Diedre, who you've also seen on a lot of my vlogs, and she used to actually dance for Beyonce. And I want to interview her about all the controversy. And it just so happened that Flex, who actually danced for one of those two big performers,
I believe it was J.Lo.
J.Lo.
I think he knows Shakira too, if I remember him saying. I don't want to quote anybody.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to be meeting with him later on this afternoon to talk a little bit about that controversy about the show. And so if you have any thoughts, please comment below, but follow us as we go to the
Doghouse.
The Doghouse.
Let's go get lunch.
Doghouse. Let's get some lunch.
We'll film more there.
All right,
See you
cool.
soon.
I have a photo shoot coming up on Tuesday for my eBay store.
Cool.
So Tina's going to shoot it. They got 3 models there. And I was going to ask Summer if you want to do her makeup, you know, schedule like.
Always ask Summer. She's usually pretty booked up, but always ask her. She may find the slot that works just right.
Cool. The vlog will be about how we shoot for our eBay store.
Awesome. Very cool. What do you have to shoot this time?
Just a bunch of dresses, some jackets, some purses, and stuff like that. So it's a good way for the models to kind of learn how to shoot for products such as fashion, and Tino does.
Tino does awesome pictures. Thank you for inviting me out to lunch. I haven't been here. Across the street, we shot the movie a couple months ago called something Del Mar, Vista Del Mar. Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. It's a Saturday Night Live movie. And we had a whole bunch of Saturday Night Live actors over there. It was cool. I was the on-set scenic artist for that one, standby there. And that was fun. It was longer hours than I'm used to. I like the off-production stuff. That way I can have time to shoot and vlog with you. You see how that goes. We've been working 6 days a week. We're about to go to 7 days a week for the next 6 weeks. So I am just booked up. I'm still doing photo shoots, 1 or 2 at night on the weekdays. And hopefully getting to edit a vlog for you at least once a week during that time. But I'm just going to try and keep my head above water until
I appreciate your help. I know you're busy.
When it rains, it pours.
And let's go film.
And it's raining film right now. Yeah.
And so this place has been featured in Better Call Saul. Was it ever in Breaking Bad?
I'm sure it was. It must have been. And
It's
at
really
least
kind
the
of a staple.
downtown
It's
area.
a staple.
When we were doing Breaking Bad, we were on Rome over there. That was their original house, and there was a lot of sets just in this area to keep it close to the studio that we used. So was awesome. I was the art department teamster for Breaking Bad season 1, and my ex-wife was the transportation dispatcher for the pilot. We had a lot of fun working on those shows. I got some stories that I'll probably never tell anybody.
Oh my God. Well, if you're a Breaking Bad fan or a Better Call Saul fan, please comment below.
Oh yeah! Hot dog. How is it? These are awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That was good.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I love this town.
I love this town.
Man.
So now we'll go meet Flex and talk a little bit about the Super Bowl.
Finally, someone needs to discuss these things.
Yes.
No one's talking enough about it.
Exactly. It's just nice to get his perspective.
It's nice to get a professional who's involved.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Flex here. Last night, Lucas and I were actually editing video from Donna Dyson's fashion show, and Diedre, we were editing the video from Diedre's rehearsal. And this morning, I'm going through my Facebook feed, and like I said, I didn't have time to watch the Super Bowl. But I saw some really positive thoughts about the halftime show, and then some negative thoughts about the halftime show. So I went on YouTube and watched it, and I'm a big fan of Shakira and J.Lo, and I thought the performance was off the chain. And I love Miami, and it definitely felt like that Miami.
Yeah, it's the place to have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And so exactly, great energy.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Diedre because she's in dance, and she's like, I got Flex here, and you really like the Flex. So thank you so much for coming out here.
Of course, no problem.
So I'd love your thoughts. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what your thoughts on the show.
Okay. So I'm Flex. I'm a creative director and a choreographer. I'm originally from St. Louis, but I moved to LA to pursue creative direction and choreography. I've been there for about 14 years. I work with music, television, film, celebrity artists like Britney Spears, Beyonce, Rihanna, Missy Elliott, and I've actually worked with J.Lo.
Oh, nice.
So it's awesome to see what she did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And so you know the hard work that goes behind such a huge production.
Of course. Yes.
So
yes.
So tell us a little bit about the show. What's your thoughts about some of the positive, maybe some of the negative views on such a show?
Well, you know, art itself is its own thought process. Like I always talk, I actually just had a conversation with Diedre about this, how artistic people and people that are in the entertainment business, whether it be modeling, acting, dancing, whatever it may be, they subconsciously don't realize they're in their own bubble. And so a lot of their thought process and a lot of the way they view things is within their own culture and their own community. So it always seems as though outside perspective is incorrect, but there's many other perspectives to things. I personally, myself, understand the hard work, and I thought that last night's performance was probably one of the best Super Bowls that we've ever had for a halftime show. It was very well put together. Some of my colleagues that I do know, Paris Gogol, which was the choreographer, Nappy Tabs, Jaquel Nye, these are people that I know that I work with within the industry, and they put in a lot of hard work. Yeah. As well as Jennifer Lopez. I worked with her on several different projects and music videos, and I understand her passion and her love for what she does, and you could really see how hard they worked and how much energy and time and dedication that they had to put into it. I have an opinion of the production, which was absolutely amazing. I have an opinion of Jennifer herself, which she is an artist. And art is an expression.
Right.
You know, the negative opinions are within a certain kind of person and or a certain demographic of people that may feel as though what she was doing could be possibly inappropriate, which I do understand that. You know, there was moments where she was on a pole, you know, where she had on a lot of revealing clothing. So for someone that doesn't want their child to see that, I feel like that is a granted opinion.
Right.
I, however, feel that art is something that you choose, and your display is how you display. Her daughter was there, you know, singing with her on stage, and that's a child. So in J.Lo's world and in J.Lo's vision and the way that she wants us to feel this is unity. That was her biggest thing, and that's something that I know of her personally, is that she's really a fan of unity and a fan of bringing all things together, which you could really see that within her production that she had, and tries her best to be unoffensive. This is a woman that I've dealt with personally where I say, hey, you want to try this, you want to try that? And the answer is, no, I have a child. There are so many things that kids are subject to see nowadays, and I feel like even the Super Bowl, it's a parental guidance.
Yeah.
As though if you feel that the halftime show is coming and you know that there are female performers, then if you feel as though it's inappropriate, then maybe your child shouldn't be watching.
Right.
I also feel like maybe we could say it's PG-13.
Yeah.
Who knows, you know, but I feel as though, like, I teach kids. I teach a lot of kids, and I try my best as a teacher, a mentor, and a coach to steer my kids away from anything negative or anything that I feel like is inappropriate. And football is very violent.
Yes.
So violence is also something that people have a problem with, yet we're on the football field basically hitting each other. And the pleasure of football is the violence.
Wow.
It's the violence that creates a winning.
You're hitting a lot of notes.
know.
I mean, I've been having this conversation throughout the day with my friends, and I've been in those notes because it goes back to like the Greeks. I mean, this is a gladiator game. It's an arena where people are hurting each other, and it's a gladiator game.
And that's the only way of success, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what people want to watch. And I'm picturing, and I don't know if this is happening, but I'm picturing people at home, you know, drinking beers and cursing at the TV, and then they're upset that the kids are watching J.Lo dance.
But they're watching you celebrate violence.
Exactly. So,
you know, which that's not my opinion. Right. I love sports, but I'm saying there's so many perspectives.
It's a disconnect,
when you
though.
think,
What you think is appropriate, not appropriate, be it violence or sexualization. But
we've had countless Super Bowls. You know, Janet Jackson is banned from the Super Bowl, but Justin Timberlake still performs, and as NSYNC performs, but they were involved in the same Super Bowl scandal. They were both together, both a part of that, and Janet Jackson is not allowed to be at the Super Bowl ever, and he can still perform.
Well, I'm almost old enough. Almost old enough to remember Elvis Presley. You know, they couldn't show him moving his hips, and Sammy Davis Jr. had to stay in different hotels.
Yes.
And so, this goes way back.
Yes.
And so,
and I think that also plays a detrimental yet sad part of your evaluation of it. There's an entertainment level and an entertainment value that is undeniable, and sometimes when you get to that place, just like when Beyonce did her Super Bowl, you know, people looked at it and immediately want to find a way to pull at it and tug at it and make it inappropriate.
Right.
You know, and we have Madonna, you know, performing a whole lot more than either one of those ladies, you know. So it's a perspective that I can understand, I can respect, but there are ways that you can control those things by you doing whatever diligent job you feel as though your child needs, not really determining what comes on the television that would be there whether your child is watching or not, you know. That's what I feel. That's my opinion of it.
And I'm glad you came out because I just wanted to give it another voice.
Yeah,
Totally. I enjoyed the show, and you're in town, and you're obviously an expert in your field, and I really value your opinion. So.
And
And I think, hearing from you guys back there filming y'all, that art is meant to have a response, and this has created a response, as did Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction.
Absolutely.
Look at us and everybody else sitting around talking about it. So kudos to the producers, kudos to the artist, and kudos to the humans that get to sit down and have these decent conversations.
I agree, and I think it's there's a lot of thank you. Yeah. There's always going to be a perspective. I always teach artists to be courageous and be themselves and be authentic and express yourself how you like to be expressed. You know, everyone's not gonna like you, and that's not the point of life. The point is for you to express yourself, and if someone is talking about you, that can somewhat be a good thing because it's an expression, and expression is always talked about, positively or negatively. So as long as there's a conversation about it, that means that somewhere, somehow you strike a chord that deserves a conversation, which is ultimately art.
Yeah, and that's why I love fashion, because I say the same thing. Like I have 12 different designers.
Yes.
And you might love that piece, and somebody else will be like, "What are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
But it creates a conversation. You know, it's and I love fashion, art, and dance and performance just because it is thought provoking.
I work with different kinds of people where I'm not saying, hey, I'm going to do something so offensive and throw it in your face. You know, it's not really that. But if someone is artistically, like for instance, one thing that I do know about Jennifer Lopez and her preparation for the Super Bowl is prior to this, she did a movie. And in the movie, she was playing, you know, a woman that was the leader of a club, a strip club. And what she had to learn to be in that movie and to do that role is, we're talking about a 50-year-old woman here. You know what I mean? So that is very conservative, that is very respectful of children and thoughts and different things like that, but she's also an artist. So she had to work her butt off to be in that movie. So what she's doing right now, the Super Bowl opening, is her expressing herself, her showing, I worked on this and this is something new that I'm adding to my artistic catalog, and I would like to express that and I would like to show that. And I thought it was done in a very tasteful way, my own opinion. You know, but I understand people. People will always be people. But I think that people protect people. So if you feel as though there's something offensive, then protect yourself. You know, there's so many more things we can see that we don't like, that we don't protect.
That's true. Well, I really like your insights on everything.
Of course.
I really do appreciate it.
Of course, no problem.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me. This was fun to do. Come on.
Cool.